What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So you guys have probably seen some of my other gravel videos where I talk about these expensive boutique gravel bikes. I did a gravel bike video under $2,000 for a gravel bike from big brands, but what about budget gravel bikes? I don't want you guys to think that you've got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and break the bank to get on gravel. There are some budget gravel bike options out there for under $1,000. Now these bikes are going to be super entry level with the components they have, but they are great bikes to see if gravel is something that you're going to like. There's no point in breaking the bank on a super expensive bike if you're not even sure you're going to like gravel riding. So I checked out 5 bikes from 5 relatively bigger brands under $1,000. All 5 of these bikes are super entry level, but I am going to point out the things that I like about these bikes. All of these bikes have pretty decent frames, so if gravel is something that you think you're going to like and something that you're going to get into, these would all be great bikes that you could upgrade down the road. So let's check out 5 super budget gravel bikes for under $1,000. The first bike on the list is the SALSA Journeyman CLARIS, coming in at $950. First of all, what I love about this bike is the fact that it's a SALSA. SALSA was one of the first brands to really dive into the gravel scene, and they have been making awesome gravel bikes for a really long time. This bike comes as an aluminum frame and fork with Shimano CLARIS 2x8 drivetrain and flat mount disc brakes. This particular model comes stock with 700C tires wrapped in a 37mm WTB Riddler tire. But what I love about this bike is that the frame can take up to a 700 by 51mm tire. The bike also comes with some really nice features at this price, including front and rear fender mounts, which make it possible to attach racks. The bike also has top tube bag mounts and internal cable routing. This bike is also offered as a 650B option. The next bike on the list is the GT Grade Elite, coming in at $1,000. Now I know what you guys are thinking. GT, when you were a kid, they were like the coolest bikes. And then as we grew older and we became bike snobs, we started to look at GT as like a cheap brand. But as I looked at these bikes more and more, that is really not the case. GT is making some really sweet bikes, including this entry-level gravel bike. The first thing I love about this budget GT gravel bike is that it comes with an aluminum frame and carbon fork. I also love that it comes with through axles front and rear, which is something you don't always see on bikes at this price point. The bike comes with 700 by 37C WTB Riddler tires, but can fit up to a 42mm wide tire. And it has the ability to run 650B wheels. Like the Journeyman, this bike also has a 2x8 CLARIS drivetrain and flat mount mechanical disc brakes. The next bike on the list is the Diamondback Haanjo 2, coming in at $925. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Similar to the GT, Diamondbacks were so cool when we were kids, but now Diamondback, those are just cheap budget bikes. Well, there's a particular YouTuber, you may have heard of him, he's got a pretty big channel, he's sponsored by Diamondback, and if you watch that channel, you'll see that Diamondback makes some really nice mountain bikes. Well, guess what? They are now making some really nice gravel bikes. The Diamondback Haanjo 2 bike comes in at $75 under $1K, and for that price you get an aluminum frame with a steel fork, Shimano 2x8 CLARIS drivetrain, mechanical disc brakes, and 700 by 38C Diamondback wired bead tires. What I like about this bike is that it has front and rear rack mounts, so it can be used as a touring or commuter bike, and it also has mounts for fenders. The next bike on the list is the Kona Rove AL650, coming in at $950. Like SALSA, Kona was one of the first companies to really embrace dedicated gravel bikes and have been making some killer gravel bikes for the past 7 or 8 years. The original Rove in 2013 was a steel frame with 700C wheels. This Rove, for under $1K, comes as an aluminum frame and fork with 650B wheels. Like the previous 3 bikes on this list, this bike comes with a 2x8 Shimano CLARIS drivetrain and disc brakes. What I love about this bike is that it has internal cable routing keeping things look clean, as well as front and rear fender mounts to accommodate some racks for touring or commuting. This bike comes with 650B wheels wrapped in 47C WTB Venture Comp tires, which is the widest stock tire of any of the bikes on this list. So I was under the impression that Kona also offers this bike in a 700C option as a complete build, but after looking on their website, I was only able to find the 650B option, so I'm assuming that that's the only option that they have at this price point. And last but not least on the list is the Marin Gestalt, coming in at $890. Marin is primarily known for their mountain bikes, but like many brands, they have started offering gravel bikes. The Gestalt comes with an aluminum frame and fork, and surprise, surprise, a 2x8 Shimano CLARIS drivetrain. Along with the CLARIS drivetrain, this bike also comes with mechanical disc brakes. The bike comes with the 700 by 32 millimeter WTB exposure comp wire bead tire, but I'm under the impression probably has the ability to run a wider tire. 32 is pretty narrow. I wasn't able to find that it actually can take a wider tire, but you can pretty well bet being a gravel bike, it'll take at least a 38. What I like about this bike is that it has internal cable routing as well as mud guard and rack mounts. I also think this is a really good looking bike at this price point. All right guys, there you have it. 5 gravel bikes under $1,000. Are they super entry level? Yes, but will they get you on the gravel? Yes, and can you upgrade them down the road? Absolutely. Also guys, the availability on all of these bikes, all 5 of these bikes are relatively bigger brands. I looked at some of the really big brands and I couldn't find gravel bikes for under $1,000. I picked these 5 bikes because they are bigger brands, and hopefully these bikes can be accessible if you want to go buy one, but I can't speak on availability. This is just the information that I found on the internet, on these companies' websites, which I will leave all of these bikes linked in the description below. So I don't know about availability. It seems like every bike in the world from every company is currently out of stock because of Coronas, but I did my best taking what I had information to on the internet and putting it in this video. If you have questions, I will do my best to answer them. If you guys haven't subscribed yet to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. You guys have a good one.